Hi, in this video, we will be discussing the business of investment banks and the different types of investment banks. As a generally accepted definition, an investment bank is often defined as a financial institution that offers a range of services in the capital market, from underwriting and the issuance of stocks and bonds, advisory on mergers and acquisitions, trading, research, asset management, wealth management, to principal investments. Among the many services an investment bank may offer, underwriting and issuance of securities and advisory on mergers and acquisitions are among the oldest businesses of investment banks. Sometimes, investment banks are more narrowly defined as financial institutions that offer these two services. On the other hand, a broader definition of investment banks may include all financial firms on Wall Street. In the market of China, investment bank businesses such as IPO business are largely conducted by local security companies. Other types of financial institutions may also have limited exposure to investment banking business. For example, commercial banks of China can participate in the underwriting and issuance of government bonds. They may also provide consulting and financing service in mergers and acquisitions. The investment bank business, as we have discussed, are different from those of commercial banks. The main business of a commercial or retail bank, in contrast, is deposit taking and loan issuance. For example, if you want to open a bank account or apply for a credit card or apply for bank loans for your business, you would approach a commercial bank. Historically, U.S. commercial banks were barred from operating investment bank business, as was ruled by the Glass-Steagall Banking Act of 1933. In year 1999, the Glass-Steagall Act was overturned by the Gramm-Leach-Bliley Act, which is also known as Financial Service Modernization Act. The Act of 1999 allows a U.S. bank to operate both commercial and investment bank business. Today, some U.S. investment banks are still more narrowly focused on investment bank business, where they operate each of the investment bank business described before, but have very limited deposit-taking and loan business. Examples include Goldman Sachs and Morgan Stanley. Especially prior to the last financial crisis, these two companies have only investment banking business. On the other hand, there are also some more broadly focused banks, or universal banks. Examples include JP Morgan Chase, Citigroup, and Bank of America. The passage of Gramm-Leach-Bliley Act of 1999 coincided with the merger of Citicorp and Travelers Group in 1998, which later created Citigroup. Travelers Group owns the investment bank Salomon Brothers. With the passage of Gramm-Bliley Act, Citigroup did not have to divest Salomon Brothers to comply with laws. JP Morgan and Bank of America followed Citigroup to create universal investment banks. In the market of China, security companies and commercial banks are separately operated and regulated, while in Europe, investment banking and commercial banking have always been allowed to operate within the same entity. Arguably, joining commercial and investment banking business may provide a more stable and counter-cyclical business model. For example, during market downturns, there may be fewer IPO deals for an investment bank to make a profit, while the commercial banking business may be less affected, particularly if people prefer safer investments, such as a deposit account during bad markets. The most prestigious players in the industry include line global investment banks that operate a full set of investment banking business throughout the world. They are Goldman Sachs, JP Morgan, Morgan Stanley, Citibank, Bank of America, Credit Suisse, UBS, Deutsche Bank, and Barclays. On the next level, there are also some large banks that compete with global investment banks in regional markets. The regional banks also offer a full set of investment banking services, and in some countries, they may have a larger market share than the 9 global banks. Examples of large regional banks include HSBC of Hong Kong, BNP Paribas of France, Nomura of Japan, CIBC of Canada, and Macquarie of Australia. There are also some players in the market called boutique banks. These banks do not provide a full list of investment banking services, but principally focus on mergers and acquisition consulting. They may also have a limited amount of proprietary trading and asset management. Examples of boutique banks include Evercore Partners, Lazard, and Moelis & Co. Next, there are retail brokerage firms. These firms provide middleman services to retail clients who invest in stocks and bonds. In this sense, they narrowly compete with trading business of investment banks. But sometimes, they are not considered investment banks if the investment bank business is more narrowly defined to include security underwriting and M&A advisory. Boutique investment banks are very competitive in M&A advisory business. For example, on this table, I have a league table of the top 10 banks for year 2019 ranked by deal value of their M&A business. Among the top 10 players, Lazard and Evercore Partners are boutique investment banks, and they compete directly with other global investment banks. Okay, in this video, we have discussed the business of investment banks and the different types of investment banks. In our next video, we will introduce investment bank divisions.